But with the Neptune in his second house squares Mercury, he's not thinking right. The use of money, there could be a huge scandal, huge misinvestments and huge losses in his dealings with finances, in his policy about tariffs and things. Tremendous losses come out of this belief, which isn't realistic. I'm not sure if I have much more to say. We're a bit early. Just trying to think for a moment if I have more to say here. It's see, now that you get to this point, then you start looking at the transits and you start seeing when different parts of his nature are going to be activated up. We're close to coming to transit. We're a few weeks away from going to transits to make everything to come alive. Really, we've done the work to know natal chart, to know planets and signs, planets and houses, planets and aspects, and putting it together in the natal chart. Signs in the house, cusps, all these factors, you have a solid foundation in astrology. Everything else now is easier to learn. The transits now become really useful because they tell you when these personal things that you've seen deeply get affected, when he's going to have mercurial problems, when he's going to have emotional problems, when he's going to have power struggles. No, and so I'm not going to, I don't want to, I can't help but see them because I know the chart. I know where they are. But the danger of, he'll probably, when he leaves, he'll leave probably in scandal or in shame. It's something will undermine this because he's pushing too far and too extreme. That's why everybody thinks he's crazy. He's pushing so extreme, but he's not responding to anyone else. You're either with him and letting him run you. He's doing it for your favor. He's good for everybody. But if you disagree, you don't fit in the world. And that number of people disagreeing are increasing phenomenally. And the vulnerabilities that are coming from this attitude, he's still in dangerous territory. There's certainly high risks if it's not for the fact that there's so much security around the president, but he's certainly at risk of attempts of violence or either causing war or fighting things out or being stopped by force. I haven't done enough leaders to say, I'm trying to think, who would I compare this? The Sun and Uranus and Gemini in the 10th house running things with that bold chart and the waxing balsamic moon phase. These are all factors push. His instinct is to keep going. He's not going to stop until he can no longer, like he'll crash, he won't compromise, he'll push. And then if it crashes, he'll try and run on to something else. But the repercussions, even now, there's shadows of it. There's the shadows of the eclipse in that there's so many people being put up. There's committees investigating what he's done, about his ties, about what illegal things, what deceptive things have been done. And these are all information is being put. They're not going to press it. They're not going to press for impeachment when he's in power, probably. But it's very possible the minute he's not in power, immediately the cases come up against him, not against the president who can pardon himself. Who's the king is the rule, he can pardon himself, but against the person who's no longer president who did all these things. He's trying to get away from the past. Can he get far enough away? Can he get fast enough away? But he's certainly shaking up the apple tree and disrupting the apple cart. So he's like a fast fire burning up a tree, burning up a mountain. It'll burn up quickly. Everyone will notice it. It's burning, but it'll run out of fuel. And some of the question is, are there more bigoted, racist, anti-immigrant people in the States than multicultural people in the States? In the cities, it's one thing. In the countries, it's still a very isolated world of private ownership. Well, I don't have any definite decision around it. I mean, I didn't think he would get in when he got in for presidency, but he did by whatever means or whatever ways it happened. But these ways that he took more behind the scene ways. It got him there, but it will get him out of there. They'll probably get him out of there too. I can't help but think he's pushed himself up in a position which he thinks he's totally capable for, but he's not really. He's not ruling for the people. He's ruling for his select group of people, his style of people. And he's motivated to prove things. So he'll push and push until he can't push anymore. He won't be stopped unless someone physically stops him. So I have my opinions. I don't have the values that he has. I don't have the racist bone in me. I don't have that. I have sadness at some of these things, but he's certainly invoking and aligning to a lot of what I would consider lower level people or smaller minded people or conservative people. And he's not going to be able to live up to the restraints of those conservative people sooner or later. So they're using him, he's using them, and sooner or later his foundation will pull out from underneath him, and then he'll be really vulnerable. So, okay, this is pretty much it. Next week, we're going to switch to different thing. We're going to, in fact, the next 2 weeks, we're going to do 2 different charts. We're going to do Carl Jung's chart next week, the psychologist. Another Leo. We've done a lot of Leos in this class. And then we're going to do, the last week, we're going to do Sigmund Freud's chart. So we're doing these now, and we're setting it up so when we get to transit case studies, we might be able to pull them up to use some of these as transit case studies to see the turning points in their life and how they came up. So I'm going to leave it here. Anything else? No, that's about it. Okay. Thank you. And I'll see you next week. Okay. Good night.